to the Creator, grandfathers and grandmothers and all my relations to the east. And I ask the Creator, grandfathers and grandmothers and all my relations to the north. I ask the Creator, grandfathers and grandmothers and all my relations to the south. I ask the Creator, grandfathers and grandmothers and all my relations to the west. I ask that you be with me today. Give me guidance, strength, wisdom, and I thank you for this opportunity to do this film, and I pray that I would do it in a good way and in good energy. My status as a positive woman has greatly affected my life. I believe for the first 8 years I didn't have a relationship. No one wanted to have a relationship with me, and it still happens today. They'll go, oh, okay. It just becomes a friendship then. It's no longer a relationship, and certainly not a sexual relationship. And that's why I state HIV is my best friend, because it will be with me for the rest of my life. And I can see that I probably won't have a long-term relationship ever.
So in this dream, we were having this really steamy makeout, but I was very conscious that I had to disclose, and I hadn't done it yet, and we had started kissing, and I was like, shit, 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 what am I gonna do? And I was like, you know, it was really hard, because in my dream I was getting really upset, and it was like that stuff that like exists in the back of my mind every single time I want to sleep with someone. Every time I meet someone at a bar, every time I meet someone that I think is cute. What am I gonna tell you? How am I gonna tell you? What's it gonna look like? How are you gonna react? And I just remember thinking and feeling like, I'm not a murderer. I just wanna be like everyone else.
Cette journée-là, j'ai raccroché le téléphone, j'ai pris ma voiture, j'ai mis dedans tout ce qu'il fallait pour me suicider. Et je suis allée dans un boisé où j'étais sûre que je mettais là, fin à mes jours. Parce que je me disais, si parce que je suis séropositive, mon ex-conjoint, après m'avoir battue, a été relâché de tout, qu'est-ce que ça va être aux criminels? En prison pour le restant de mes jours, mon fils qui n'avait pas 18 ans, écoute, là, j'étais plus capable. Moi, je voulais partir intoxiquée au CO2. J'avais tout arrangé, un beau setup. C'était fini, là, dans ma tête, c'était fini. Mon fils n'existait plus, il n'y avait plus rien. Moi, c'était juste, genre, je ne perdrai pas ma liberté, c'est pas vrai, c'est juste ça qui me reste. J'ai tout fini, j'ai tout fermé l'auto. Une voiture qui partait à moins 40 l'hiver, elle n'a jamais parti. Les aiguilles des cadrans tournaient, mais le moteur partait pas. Là, j'étais là, même ça fonctionne pas.
I mean, HIV is complicated to begin with, just living with the virus. But unfortunately, I feel like society is really uncomfortable about talking about the fact that we have sexual desires and that it's human to want to have them met. As a woman, as a Latina, and as a mother, it has become difficult for me to make myself a priority when I'm in a relationship. I'm not the type of woman that particularly loves being on her own for the rest of her life. And so I do want that human connection with someone in life. But what I've found is sometimes it's just more complicated than I want it to be.
Criminalization 10 years ago was very different. I wasn't scared about anything. I thought I was just telling people because it was like the right thing to do, or like, you know, it's my responsibility. But now I have to tell people because if not, then I'm a murderer. Like, what's that? In 2001, met someone through friends. He was super cute, a bit older, you know, dark hair, blue eyes, good combo. We started to have like this hot love affair. At the beginning, he was like, oh, I want to date you more seriously. I want you to be my girlfriend. And I was like, okay, I'll take it. Yes, I get the hot one. But what happened was I tried to take all the steps to make sure our sexual health was okay. I went and got tested, and he said that he was. We were laying in bed, and he was like, yeah, I was tested too. And we were like, okay, cool. So we decided I was on the pill, and we stopped using condoms. And then, yeah, our relationship kind of went downhill from there. There was lots of cheating, lots of turbulence. Just thought, yay, I'm with a really cute person who says that they love me, but I don't know. We ended up breaking up, and I got a phone call like about a couple months after, and it was him on the phone, and he was in distress. He said that another girl had tested positive. I was like, fuck. I'm like a white girl from the suburbs. I didn't look like everyone else who's positive that I saw in the media, and I went home to get tested over Christmas. My doctor at the time, he was like, why are you even getting tested? You don't need to get tested, you're fine. You've only slept with 4 people. And when it came back positive, I'd say it was surprising, but I kind of figured it out. You know, like I asked him just before, I was like, were you ever actually tested? And he was like, and he didn't really answer, and I was like, fuck you, you know. It was about 6 months after I'd found out, and I was sad up until then. I was just like, how could this guy do this to me? I thought he cared about me, but it was when I started to kind of like reframe it and rethink it that things had shifted. Like I was like, why didn't he tell me? I don't know. Is there things that I could have done differently to have changed the situation? Yes. Could we have gone both together? Yes. Did I insist on him using a condom? No. Did I know he was cheating on me? Yes.
My ex-husband and I are very close. I care for him a lot, and he cares for me a lot, and we love our son. I was 19 when I got married. I was in a hurry to get out of the house and be on my own. I had made the decision that if I felt so safe with him, that I would definitely want to marry someone that I feel safe with. We were together for 5 years, and at 23, I had my son. I had known that my husband at that time had partners before me, and I was starting to get a bit concerned. And I asked my doctor for an HIV test, and unfortunately, I found out that I was HIV positive. The first 2 years was all about blaming. The first 2 years was all about hating, and it was a difficult time for us, and that was difficult for him to live with for a very long time, and that he really went through a lot of pain.
I am from Pine Creek First Nations, from the tribe of Anishinaabe, which would be Ojibwe in English. I am an Aboriginal woman, two-spirited meaning a lesbian. I also classify myself as a mother. I am a mother and a grandmother. I think most people are aware of the high rates that we have amongst our Aboriginal women for about the last 2 years, and I've literally watched my people dying. I remember in the 80s when we had people dropping like flies, our gay men. Now I'm literally watching my Aboriginal people dropping like flies. And you often have family members watching their brother, sister, father die. Criminalization has not helped in any way, shape, or form in my life or what I've seen. It's scary to watch, it's also going, wow, this is happening here in Canada.
C'est à la mort de mon mari, qui lui est décédé après ma mort d'un arrêt cardiaque. Mais quand on a fait l'autopsie, ça a révélé qu'il était positif au VIH. On m'a conseillé on m'a demandé d'aller passer le test pour moi et aussi le faire passer à mon fils qui avait à ce moment-là 11 mois. Tout a commencé en mars 91. Ouais. Le diagnostic de mon VIH a complètement changé ma vie. J'étais une femme de carrière. Ma vie était le travail, monter dans les échelons de la compagnie. Quand j'ai eu ce diagnostic-là, tout s'est effondré. Parce qu'en 91, il n'y avait pas de médicaments comme aujourd'hui. L'espérance de vie, à ce moment-là, on ne me l'avait pas confirmé, mais dans l'état où j'étais avec le système immunitaire que j'avais, on me donnait 6 mois à vivre. Ma grande peur était de laisser mon fils, qui avait 11 mois, orphelin. Je pense que ma priorité, ça a été pas la peur de la mort, mais de le laisser seul. Et ma grande priorité a été de chercher des parents adoptifs.
I know you're in there. And I know you're really bad and people hate you and I kind of hate you, but I can't see you and I didn't feel any different. It was the weirdest feeling. It's in my blood. It's like something I can't change. I experienced extreme stigma from my partner's family member who found out from my medications and found out I was positive. And they started yelling and saying I was like a fucking whore and kicked me out of their house. And I had to go and stay in a hotel. My mom said to me after the situation, and she was like, well, sometimes these things happen. I was like, to who? They don't happen to anyone else, you know? I was like, Mom, have you ever been kicked out of someone's house and called a whore because of something you couldn't change? Nope.
I have a lot of friends in the gay community who are people living with HIV and AIDS. What's the difference between what they go through and what I go through as a woman? I mean, women are affected more so with pretty much everything. Mental health, poverty, addiction, domestic violence, just in general, bad relationships.
Because of our high rates of injection drug use, you must be a drug addict.